Okay. Hello, my dear students. This is Rajiv Kumar Sharma, your math teacher. In that part 1, holiday homework, we have done the question number 1 to 5. Or you may say we have discussed the question number 1 to 5. Dear, today we will discuss the question number 6 onward, right? So, question number 6 is given as to represent this number 0.45444 in the rational form, right? Rational number means in the form of p upon q. So let's consider this as x equals to 0.45444. Dear, as you can observe, after 4 5 the third one 4 is repeating again and again. So these two terms are there, 4 and 5. So this entire should be multiplied by 100. Whenever we will multiply this by 100, we will get 100x, and this is 45.44, and again multiply this by 1000, then this will be 1000x equals to 454.444, and after decimal 4 is repeating here, after decimal only 4 is repeating. So we will subtract the equation 2 from equation number 1. Therefore 1000 minus 100 equals to 454 minus 45, and then decimal part will be cancelled at 00. So finally this is 409 and this is 900x. Therefore x equals to 409 upon 900, and this is the required number, because in the beginning we have considered that the given number 0.45444 is equals to x. Got it? Very good. Now just move for the next question number 7th. Question number 7th is just a minute. Question number 7th, that is just okay. Find the rationalizing factor of root 300. It is given as root 300. So find out the prime factors of 300. That will be 3 into 2 into 2 into 5 into 5. You can multiply 5 5 is 25, 25 2 is 50, 52 is 100, 103 is 300. There is a one pair of 2, next pair of 5. So we can write 2 into 5 root 3. This is 10 root 3. So finally root 300 is in the form of 10 root 3. Whenever you will multiply this entire number by root 3, then this will be free from root 3, right? Therefore RF of this number will be under root 3. Okay, this is question number 7th. Let's move for the next question, that is question number 8th. Question number 8th is very simple. That is completely based on the chapter number system, and the topic is indices rule. In the main, when I started that chapter, I told you about the indices rule, and in the beginning I told we will revise the questions because holiday homework is designed from the chapter number 1 and chapter number 2. See this question number 8. Question number 8 is given as 625 raised to the power minus 1 upon 2 whole raised to the power 1 upon minus 1 upon 4 and completely whole raised to the power it is 2. We will reduce, as you know dear, since a to the power m raised to the power n equals to a to the power m into n. Either it is once or twice or thrice. So we will apply the same formula. So using this concept, this rule, we will multiply this into this into this. So roughly you can do 1 upon 2 into minus 1 upon 4 into 2. 2 means 2 upon 1. Now 2 cancelled, minus into minus plus 1 upon 4. So whenever you will multiply this into this into this, result will come as 1 upon 4. So finally you may write this as, therefore 625 to the power 1 upon 4. Now 625 can be written as 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. This is 5 to the power 4. So instead of this 625, we will write down 5 to the power 4 whole raised to the power 1 upon 4. Correct? Again we will multiply 4 into 1 upon 4. 4 and 4 will be cancelled and it will remain as 5 power 1. 5 power 1 means 5. Okay, got it? This is the solution of question number 8. Just I am trying to explain this question because selected questions are taken in the summer homework, holiday homework. So many questions are given in the R.S. Agarwal and other books for the practice. So let's move for the next question. Next question is very simple and very important question. When I taught that chapter to you all, that time I told you such questions are very important and selected questions are given in R.S. Agarwal, right? And some questions are given in NCERT also. Very simple. It is the based on simplification. So dear, this is 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3 whole square, 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3 whole square, right? You can consider this as A, this is B, this is A and this one is B. Means this is in the form of A plus B and this is in the form of A minus B. There is an identity, and using two identities we have derived a formula that is known as the derivative. Means you may write A plus B whole square plus A minus B whole square equals to twice of A square plus B square. Correct? Is it clear? But there is no use of this identity. I wrote this because sometimes you may be confused, so you should not use this identity here if you are doing such question. So let's come to the point. Don't do this. Again I am repeating again and again, 2-3 times I repeated. Just remember one thing. This is a number, whatever the value, I don't have any idea. Nobody has idea, because we will think the question blindly. We will start from the beginning. Power 2, power 2. So as per the rule of indices, we can write 3 root 2 plus 2 root 3, and this is 3 root 2 minus 2 root 3 whole raised to the power 2. Since A into B to the power n equals to A to the power n into B to the power n. This entire was taken as the A and this entire was taken as B. Now we can write this as first term plus second term in the first bracket, first term minus second term in the second bracket, and this is the formula of that is known as difference formula. So we can write this as 3 root 2 whole square minus 2 root 3 whole square 4 raised to the power 2. We are doing this operation inside the curly bracket, and the formula which is used here, that is known as difference formula, right? Everybody knows it is given in class 8. Difference formula, that is given in the form of a plus b into a minus b equals to a square minus b square. So I have taken this one as the first term, this is as the second term. Square of 3 is 9, square of root 2 is 2, so 9 to the 18, square of 2 is 4, and square of root 3 is 3, so 4 3 is a 12 whole raised to power 2, and 18 minus 12, this is 6 whole square, and finally it is 36. Got it? Question is very simple, but you have to go through the step by step. You have to go through the concept of the question. You should not be in the hurry. Think about the question. Once you did the mistake, that should not be repeated again and again, right? So let's move for the next question. Question number 10th. This question is very important, and I hope such questions are the part of the examination. Every year such questions are coming. So we will discuss the question number 10th, because question number 10th and question number 11th, these two questions are similar. So I will explain the question number 10th, and you will try to solve the question number 11th yourself, right? So let's write this question. 3 plus root 2 upon 3 minus root 2 equals to a plus b root 2. This is given, and need to find the value of a and b. If such question is given, you have to rationalize this portion, and then after rationalization we will compare the coefficient of root 2 and the next part, right? Means we will compare and we will write down the value of a and b, because this is the real part, this is rational part and this is irrational part. Now to rationalize this one, rationalizing factor of this will be 3 plus root 2, because denominator is 3 minus root 2, and the conjugate of the 3 minus root 2 will be the RF. Conjugate of 3 minus 2 equals to RF of 3 minus root 2, that is 3 plus root 2. Now 3 plus root 2, 3 minus root 2, both numerator as well as denominator will be multiplied by 3 plus root 2 upon 3 plus root 2. If we are multiplying numerator as well as denominator by the same number, then the ratio remains constant. So a plus b root 2. Multiply these two, this will be 3 plus root 2 whole square, and this will be 3 whole square minus root 2 whole square, because a minus b and this is a plus b, just like a difference formula. Before this question such things are given to practice that. Now using the formula a plus b whole square, we will solve this question. So square of the first term is 9, square of second term is 2, square of root 2 is 2, and then as per the formula plus 2 into first term into second term. Now square of 3 9, square of root 2 that is 2, and a plus b root 2. This is 9 plus 2 11 plus 3 2 is 6 root 2, 9 minus 2 7 equals to a plus b root 2. Now dear, you may write 11 upon 7 plus 6 root 2 upon 7. So on comparing both the sides, a equals to 11 upon 7 and b equals to 6 upon 7. Because this is the real part, so you will write 11 upon 7 plus 6 root 2 upon 7, and coefficient of root 2, that is 6 upon 7, will be the value of b. And this is the complete solution of question number 10. This question is very important. You may practice this question. Not only this 10th, 11th and 12th. All these questions are based on the one concept, rationalization, right? Right. So dear, question number 10th we have done. Question number 11th and question number 12th. These two questions are similar to this, right? Question number 11th is given as 3 minus root 6 upon 3 plus 2 root 6 equals to a root 6 minus b. And question number 12th is given as 2 plus root 5 upon 2 minus root 5 plus 2 minus root 5 upon 2 plus root 5. So that is simply simplification. Thank you very much, dear. Again, I will discuss the remaining questions of this holiday homework in the next video. Before winding up this session, I would like to discuss something about the holiday homework, right? Holiday homework is given as very simple. Holiday homework is given and very interesting. Maybe sometimes you are in trouble to solve this one. As a project, one thing is given, construct a spiral root. We have constructed the spiral root in the beginning of the session. So you may construct the spiral root of root 7 or root 5. So don't take root 7, that will be lengthy. You can do that, but make the spiral root of root 5. And the second project is given as collect the information from the internet and prepare a project file on the history of mathematics. So dear, you all will divide the history of mathematics in two parts: Indian history and foreign history, right? So categorize this and write down at least 5 name of the scientist or mathematician. 5 from Indian history and 5 from foreign history of mathematics, and write down something about this. And so many things are available at the internet about the history of mathematics. It is very simple to find out. In some books are there also, it is given. So you should go through that and make it on the A4 size sheet. One A4 size sheet for the Indian history and one A4 size sheet for the foreign history of mathematics, right? As much as you can collect, I will be happy if you will write from your side. In case of any trouble, if you are not finding out any history of mathematics, then you can ask to me. But as the instruction is given, it is available at the internet and you are free to use the internet nowadays. There is no foundation. So I hope you will complete it and you will get it done in time. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.